I was like, you know what, I was calling my dad. I was like, this is not for me. I was like, you know, I better go work at Walmart or something. You know, I mean, I will play better if I have a chocolate cookie in my stomach. Like if I'm not, I'm gonna want one. And if I want one, I'm.
Who was it? Wasn't it
All about
DK?
comfort, this guy.
All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Changeover Podcast. This is the weekly grind. Yeah, just a quick apology for the pause. Today is Thursday, and we have, I guess by the time this is out, we would have dropped Carlos Aguilar's episode. But we're back to regular programming, starting now. As you can see on Instagram and YouTube, the releases are coming out again. So thanks for staying by us. And we saw some DMs and messages from everyone supporting us. So thank you for that. Continue to like and share everything. And I guess we can get going now. So our guest this week is Blue Baker. Blue is from England, I think, and now lives in Florida. He's been in Florida for a while. Sorry?
Yeah, just about.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Blue actually showed interest in the page as well. He was one of the first people to follow, one of the first tennis players, I guess, to follow the page and talk to us about it. And he's actually sent in some topics that he thinks we should talk about, which is kind of nice to see from our peers. You know, it hasn't happened that often, so just want to say thanks to you for coming on and showing interest.
Yeah, man, I've been itching to get on a podcast, to be honest with you, but I think being on a tennis one for me is something that I've been again looking for, and I'm just happy to be here. To be honest, I really appreciate you guys letting me come on.
Yeah. Before we get going, we just need to say special thanks to Raul. So Raul is one of our followers. I think Raul is interested. He's in college, I believe, is what he said, and he was interested in playing professional tennis when college is over. And basically, what he told us in the DMs was that, which was very refreshing, that he's learned a lot from our podcast. You know, when we started the podcast, we didn't really think that we would be necessarily teaching people about professional tennis. It's more about exposing the life that we live and that sort of stuff. But it was very nice to see from Raul that he's been, like I said, taking notes and writing and learning things from all the guests. So, I mean, I saw notes from when we had Zeke on, Keegan on, like a bunch of different pros. So it kind of made us happy, the Changeover boys, that, you know, that we're teaching someone. So I guess before we get going, just special thanks to him. And I guess we should answer one of his questions before we start with the hot topic. So, Justin, I guess you can go with this one. I don't even know if Justin read it yet. Where and how do you think someone who's not a top college player should start their futures or pro career?
I should answer this?
Yeah, you go for it. We did zero preparation for this episode too, so all of the answers are very like...
I feel like this is maybe better for you to answer, no?
For me?
It's more in line with your experience. I feel like you went to like a not top college.
Yeah.
Like I feel like it makes more sense if you answer this question.
Yeah, I mean, I think that it's... You know, we kind of make the jokes about these places like Tunisia and Cancun and Sharm and stuff, but one of the beauty about these places is normally they have pre-qualies. So for the guys who can't normally get into qualies, you can go there and you can play pre-qualies and give yourself an opportunity to get into the draws. So my opinion would be to try and find, like, do some research into the surfaces, you know, whether you like clay or hard courts or what speed of the courts, and then try to go to one of those places, and that would probably be the best bet in my opinion. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a college player, but
you didn't go to school.
No, I didn't go to school, but in my opinion, I think you got to pay your dues, right? So yeah. I mean, when you start off your pro career, you have to go to those places and just put in weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks of playing. So you get, you know, your confidence, you get your court time. You meet people, you build a callus, like in terms of mental strength and that kind of stuff. So you're completely right. I think that you need to go to Sharm or I mean, Cancun's not there anymore, but Tunisia, I think,
Thank
is
God.
yeah, that's another cheese, man. But yeah, Tunisia is a place that, and it's gotten a lot better, I think, right? In terms of like,
I think they redid the course in Tunisia.
Yeah, so I think that would probably be a good start.
Bro, this is becoming the shit on Cancun podcast. Every single person does come on.
Yeah, I mean, when Zeke was talking about that was so funny.
Yeah.
I would also say, depending on your level, it might also be a good investment to play the UTRs. I think
sure.
you're going to play a lot of players who are futures qualities guys, and guys who win futures sometimes play these tournaments, especially when the money is good. and you will also sometimes if you play the PTTs, you're guaranteed I think 5 matches or something in that week.
Yeah.
And some prize money. And then if you play like the regular tournament, like there's like in this area we have the Battle of Boca and the Casellis. I'm not sure about other parts of the country, but I know they have them in Europe as well, like a lot of these tournaments. So if you aren't getting into the futures at the beginning, I think it also is worth it to play those UTRs, just because you're gonna get good players that you're gonna play against, and you're gonna get to build experience and get some confidence and playing at the level.
It's definitely to play the PTTs and these tournaments. It's definitely a good little measuring stick to see where you are versus the pros. It depends on what week it is. They'll have a lot of pros that play. Sometimes they're full of college players, which is also high level, and then other times it's full of pros, which it's what you, I guess, are aspiring to be playing. So it's a good measuring stick. So I think all of those are probably good ways to start.
It's just good to get a lot of reps playing matches at a pretty high level. Whether it's pros or guys who are close to that level, it's just good to play and play and play. I think that's where you build the confidence to really kind of give you that boost to kind of actually go for it. So
yeah, for sure.
True. The topic that Blue was interested in, so ATP Challenger Tour posted on Instagram. Did I send it to you, Justin, or no?
You did.
So the post is saying that, and this is from the ATP Challenger Tour, that it's a 69% in prize money in the challenges this year, $10.3 million.
69% what?
Increase from last year. And over 70 players earned more than 30 grand. So it's up from 18 players up to 70 players. So I guess what they're trying to say is that they've been making more of an effort for the challenger players to earn more money. I kind of have an opinion on it. I didn't really do much research into it, but I think that they made these new, the ones that the really high ones, the big challenges, like the 175s and like Phoenix and these ones. Yeah. But if you look at who signs up to play those tournaments,
it's all ATP top guys.
Yeah. So even though it's an increase,
you can't get in.
Exactly. So the guys that actually play challenges most of the year, those are not on their calendar.
They might stick into the qualies, maybe.
Yeah.
And
those are not the guys making over 30 grand, probably.
No, I mean,
it's the guys making hundreds of thousands or millions making 30 grand.
Yeah.
When they post that, it's like, that doesn't make me feel good. You know what I mean? It's like, I mean, I don't, like I said, I don't know. This is my opinion, but we spend probably, if you play a full season, which is 20 to 24 weeks a year, you're going to be spending close to $60,000. That's including hotel and all that stuff. And challengers even pay for hotels, right?
Yeah.
So you're still going to be spending that money. And there's maybe, what do you think, like 500 to 400 challenger players who actually play yearly?
Yeah.
From the top 500, I say down, right?
I'd say about 400
yeah,
maybe.
Yeah. So, and 30 make 30K a year. Was it 30?
And of those 30, I really don't believe that those are like genuine challenger players.
No.
It's going to be guys that play
for sure.
above.
I mean, look who won. I think Murray won a couple of them.
I think what they're saying is they make 30 grand from the challenges, but like for example, Murray won a couple of them. So maybe he's one of the guys who won over 30 grand, and he's playing all the slams,
definitely
all the masters. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
So
I mean, and there's
like
guys,
a cherry on top for him.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, for me, that's not didn't make me feel like good about it. I was just like, you know what, like, with the most competitive sport, in my opinion, in terms of one-on-one gladiator sport, and with the most worldwide sport, like racket sport, most popular one on the planet, and guys around 600 in the world or even 700 in the world, in any other sport, basketball, like English football, all that, every like team sport, those kind of guys will be making millions a year.
Yeah.
Millions. And we, like, no one even knows our name. So it's like, right? So it's like, for me, I'm just like, I'm sitting on my couch listening to that, and I'm just like, I mean, that's just like BS.
And I think that they've been like trying to make a change with it.
Yeah.
But I think that they did it in the wrong way, because they make these new challenger, like the big challengers, and then they put it like the second week of the slam. So it's the guys who lose early in the slams they can go and play. They have more playing opportunity.
Exactly.
But like, these are already the guys that make so much money anyway.
Yeah, absolutely.
So if it was genuine challenger guys now actually making more money, then you can at least say not that it's a lot of money. 30 grand is not a lot of money.
No.
But at least you can say, okay, they're trying to make a change. They're trying to make the guys who, like in the middle of the pack,
Yep,
you know,
absolutely.
make more money. And unfortunately, I don't think that's how it goes.
No.
So
No.
And this is just money made from challenger events.
I believe
I think
so.
so, yeah.
I believe so.
So
Because they said they have 39 higher tier events enjoyed by fans, up from 20. These are Challenger 175. Like hundreds to 175.
Didn't it say it was 18 players before that?
Yeah.
That made 30K a year from challenges.
Yeah.
That's just doesn't comprehend in my brain.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's true. I was going to say something. You know, I was having a word with a supervisor recently, and I was asking them if they're going to have more Challenger 50s. And I don't believe that it's a thing. Like, they don't want to have more Challenger 50s. The ATP does not want to have more.
Why do they advertise it then?
No, they don't want to have more of it. Like, the ATP would prefer to, and I believe from the conversation, I could be wrong, but I believe that the ATP wants to have the best possible product. So they don't want to just keep making their lowest event, because the Challenger 50s are their worst event. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, actually, there's so much that I learned from that conversation from the supervisor that we all thought, like, for example, you know, this whole conversation about all of the money in tennis comes from the Grand Slams and whatnot. And I thought in the past that the ITF owns the Grand Slams, but that's not true.
No.
So, like, the USTA owns the US Open, the LTA owns the Wimbledon, I guess the Australian Federation, whoever owns Australian. Like, that's how it works. I thought it was ITF, but apparently it's the individual associations that own the slams.
Well, I think Wimbledon's the All England club.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
I was gonna say.
So yeah, look at me spreading lies on the internet. But yeah, this
I felt like I had to say, 'cause I was an English guy here. I was like, you know, I've just got.
Yeah, true. No, but I guess the point that I was making is I thought in the past it was the ITF. You know, so everyone kept saying like, oh, the ITF runs tennis and the ITF has all the money in tennis and whatnot. But it's not true. Like the slams are not owned by the ITF.
Like with the ITF Grandstand Development Fund?
I guess so. I don't know. This is why I think in the future, and I talked to the supervisor about it, and eventually when we get good, I think we should have him on and just have like a discussion, because he had an answer to all of the questions that we had. You know what I mean? And it made a lot more sense when he said it versus us sitting on the couch talking shit about this stuff. So yeah,
that would make more sense.
Yeah.
These conversations should
the
be
speculation
set aside. Actually knows.
Spreading lies.
Exactly. Yeah. That's so funny.
Yeah. But all right, let's transition a little bit into our guest here. So you won your first title in Boca at the end of last year. Is that true?
Yeah, November last year. Yeah, 2022.
How was that? Like, how was that week different from the other weeks? Or did you feel the same, or what was that?
Yeah, so obviously it's in my, I say hometown. It's in where I live. So I was in my comfort zone the whole time. You know, I was sleeping in my own bed, driving my own car, eating the food I wanted to eat. So I was always comfortable, right? I don't think I was seeded high in it. I think I was like maybe I was the last seed. I think I was like 7 or 8.
Makes a difference though, right?
It does make a huge difference for sure. Because I mean, like, you know, if you're 3 or 2, you know, 1 is a different story. But if you're 3 or 2, you know, you're gonna get a decent draw. You're either gonna play a qualifier or you're gonna play a wild card or something like that. So you know you're gonna get a decent draw. But that one for me, I just felt very comfortable. I felt like I was training like 5 minutes away from the Mission Bay where it was being played. So I always felt very comfortable. I mean, that's the word I kept using when people asked me about this. I just felt very comfortable. I played some very, very good tennis that I did not. So, you know, it's weird to say, but I didn't think I was very capable of that to produce it match after match. But I did. Yeah, I played 5. I didn't get a bye. I played 5 matches, and my dad showed up for the final. He flew over from England to watch me in my final, which was just like a different. I couldn't even give you words to that. I mean, it was a great feeling, and to win it with him was, you know, I mean, yeah, the amount of stress I put that guy through. so yeah, it was amazing to have him and my girlfriend there at the same time. So it was just, we had a big like kind of family there. So it was great. It was really, really cool. And to win it here in Boca is another, you know, it's another great thing. So yeah, and then from there, it's kind of gone downhill in terms of my physical aspect, but we can get into that in a bit. But yeah.
But it's fun playing in front of like like your support little team.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
absolutely.
It's not
yeah.
something that we at this level can afford to do very
No.
often. I'm sure if you're more comfortable financially, it'd be easier for your girl to travel with
For
you or
sure.
your dad or parents or whoever it is to come and
Absolutely.
see you at more tournaments, and it's a good feeling. Like it's a feeling that I really only get during Davis Cup because my dad gets
Yep.
to be there and
Yeah,
that
yeah,
sort
yeah.
of stuff. But throughout the years, a lot of matches that you're playing
For sure.
on the back courts by yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's a every other tournament, man. It's a dogfight. You know, it's you're never in your comfort zone. You're always uncomfortable. You kind of no matter where you are. I mean, obviously, when you're in the United States, it's a bit different because you know you've lived here, so you know places to eat. You know you know the language. But everyone keeps even my coach now. You know, he wants me to travel to Europe and all that stuff, and like I'm happy to do it. It's just like when there's tournaments in America, it's just so much more convenient in terms of financially. And like I say, you're in your comfort zone more. And I people always say, the comfort zone kills you. But I feel like that's true to a degree when you're younger, right? When you're like 13, 14, 15, even 16, when, you kind of need to, I say, grow some balls and kind of go out there and play, like grow that callus. I know I say callus, but it's like, be a man and go out there and play. Now it's kind of at a point where I've kind of done that in the juniors. I've been to Japan, I've been to like Serbia, I've been to all those places that aren't in my comfort zone. So I feel like I've done that. So I've built that around me. So now I kind of feel like guys like us need to play where we want to play, right? It's not kind of like where it's like not, I don't think it should be somewhere where you're uncomfortable, because if you're not, especially now where the financial is rough, right? And let's say we have to go to Serbia for 225s. You don't really want to go. You're going to be uncomfortable the whole time. That's how I feel, in my opinion. And you're gonna lose first round because you don't want to be there, right?
Give yourself the best opportunity.
Exactly, and you're gonna waste money, right? So it's like to travel there, it's gonna be at least round trip's gonna be at least like $2,500. So I feel like you're just gonna lose money. So you're better off playing where you want to play.
You see it a lot. Like, I don't know. I was just in Dominican Republic for a Challenger.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of these guys who are like, they've been between 50 and let's say 150 in their career.
Yeah.
A lot of the South American guys, and they play most of the year on clay.
Yeah.
And in South America, or like in these areas where they know that they can do well. And then if they can get inside that, I guess, 230 zone in the ranking, then they'll play the slams.
Yeah.
Or the big tournaments they can get into. But for the most part, they stay where they're comfortable.
Yeah.
So I think it's probably the most efficient way to make a career, especially if you're not, let's say, one of those guys who's going to go and win on all surfaces.
Yeah.
Because a lot of time, the truth is that people have a game style, and that game style is good for a particular thing.
Sure. Absolutely.
And you see it also with the American players. They usually do well on American soil. The Europeans do well where they're comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I think there's a point to be made there with being comfortable, I guess, to a certain degree.
And you're on the money with the point of what you were saying about when they're like 230, 250. Because guys at our level can easily compete with guys in that level, right? So it's not like we're miles apart. We can compete with guys in the top 150. That's not the problem, right?
Yeah.
It's just the main thing I think is picking the right tournaments to go play, and making sure you don't play too many, because I feel like you get burned out really fast nowadays, right? I feel like it's like one of those things where it's just like so taxing on your body, especially if you go like quarters or semis or even like you win the dubs, like I feel like going week and week and week. I mean, the max I've done is maybe like 3 weeks, and I was like, that's it, man. Like I can't go anymore than that.
I just did 4 weeks and I'm done.
Yeah.
I took 4 days off and I'm still toast.
I went to Tunisia. Okay, so
everyone has one of these stories.
Mate, I had one point, I think it was 2021. I had 1 point and I was about to lose it. And I was like, I said, my coach was like, Blue, you're gonna have to go to Tunisia. And I was like about to cry. I was like, no. I was like, this cannot be a point of my career where I have to go. I literally had to. So I end up, buying my flight. I have my coach is gonna go with me. I was supposed to go for 4 weeks. And
everyone starts the Tunisia story. I was supposed to go for a month. I was supposed to go for 3 weeks.
Yeah. So my coach was at the time was Colombian. Okay. And back then you needed like a COVID test, right, to go. And because he was a Colombian citizen, he wasn't able to travel to Tunisia even with a COVID test. Couldn't get a visa because he had to go to Colombia to go to the whatever immigration or something to get like a special certificate or something like that. So last minute he can't go. So now I'm here on the plane to Tunisia, like what is going on? Yeah, like going by myself. Long story short, supposed to be a 24-hour travel day. It took me 4 days to get there.
That's crazy.
I missed. Explain.
Okay, so I got to I flew from Fort Lauderdale to New York, easy. New York had a 5-hour delay. Okay, we're on the tarmac on the runway, about to take off. Hits midnight. The captain on the speaker goes, "Ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately, our flight attendants have passed their curfew on their flight time." So they've chosen to turn around to go back. So we went back.
Wait, the flight attendants decided they don't want
they can only fly a certain amount of hours a day, apparently, which I didn't know. So apparently they already went past it. So they didn't want to fly to Madrid. So that's a long flight. Yeah. So it's not just an easy turnaround, right? Yeah. So I was like, I wasn't expecting that. So anyway, they literally turned it around like that. We all got off. The line to like the American airline desk was about a mile long. So I was like, screw that. They were trying to get a free hotel and all that stuff. But I was like, I'm not waiting that line. You'll be there till 6 a.m. So I went to go to the Motel 6, stayed in there, was on the phone with American Airlines for like 2.5 hours, rechanged my flight, because obviously I missed my flight going from Madrid to Tunisia. And anyway, got on the flight at 6 a.m. to Madrid. I got delayed in Madrid again. We're on the tarmac in Madrid. So I missed my flight to Tunisia. So I had to stay overnight in Madrid in another hotel. My flight to Tunisia was at 5 a.m.
Uh-huh.
So, okay, another thing. My COVID test was literally a piece of paper, right? Didn't have a QR code on it. I didn't know you had to have a QR code. So I got to the desk in the Tunisia, whatever. I think it was Portugal. What's it called? TAP Airlines?
Yeah,
I think it's what it's called. And they turned me around. They said, you can't fly. We need the QR code. So I had to run to this inside the airport. It's a massive airport. Had to run to the COVID testing site. To wait an hour in line.
With all your bags?
Yeah, all my bags. Yeah, mate, I had 2 bags, tennis bags, sweating by myself, like
Third
really
day.
debating whether or not I want to keep doing this or not. I was like, what, I was calling my dad. I was like, this is not for me. I was like, I better go work at Walmart or something. So anyway, I get the test. It's fine. Get on the flight. Get out there. I literally play the next day because it took me 4 days to get there. So I play the next day, lose. Then I have 7 days to do nothing, and it is the
can't
worst.
Practice until 6 a.m. or 6 p.m.
Yeah. So and keep in mind, I know no one there. There's no Americans. There's no Brits. There's no one that I know. So I'm just by myself in my own world. So I'm like depressed. I go to my bedtime was
I think when I was in Tunisia, I ate about 5 Kit Kats a day. Like I was just crunching Kit Kats after dinner just by myself.
You know how at the crepes?
No, I just settled on Kit Kats.
I didn't get the privilege of the crepes. No. I ate dinner really quick, ran back to my room. I was like,
dinner, stop at the little store for 5 Kit Kats.
Yes. That was my routine. I went to the store, grabbed like a bunch of Tunisian candy or whatever it was all right, and grabbed a couple of sodas, and I went back to my room. Didn't go to sleep till like 4 a.m. That's how bad I was, like mentally. Then I fell asleep at 4 a.m. and then I woke up at 2 p.m. because you couldn't even practice anyway, right? Can't practice anyway.
Literally early in the morning.
Yeah, so my practice would be at like night, so I'd practice at 7 p.m.
You should have stayed home, dog.
You should.
That's my point.
When they said we can't go in New York, you should have.
Neither can I.
I was. So anyway,
should have reversed it.
I finished that week. Then I played again my second week, won a round, lost in the next round.
I was about to say 1 point gone.
Yeah. So it's gone. Yeah, it's gone. I had to win that the first week, so it's gone. So now, luckily, I still have, because when you sign up for a tournament, you go in with the point that you have.
We're in main draw with 1 point.
Yeah.
Too good.
Yeah. Then I lose one round. No, that's a lie. I wasn't. I was in qualifying. Sorry.
Yeah, you're lying.
Well, I was very much in the qualifying. I don't know why I thought it was main draw. I lost in the first round of qualifying. Then I won a round the second week. Lost in the second round of qualifying. Then I was like, I'm done. I'm going home. Literally. Bought my flight that morning.
2 weeks?
2 weeks, yeah. I was done. I was like, that's it for me. That's not good.
Hey, brother. Same.
Yeah, I couldn't do it. I was like, this is not for me. I don't want it that bad. I'd rather go somewhere else.
Yeah.
So that's not even the bad
This man's
part.
talking about soft. How long you went? You went for a while, right?
I was there for like 4 or 5 weeks
But
Where-
this was
where's
like,
that?
when did you go?
during COVID.
Where
There
is
was
that?
nothing else to play.
Tunisia. I was there.
Oh. 4 or 5 by yourself.
No, he had a group of people.
Oh, okay. So it's
Yeah,
easy.
I like
a group
that.
of people. I met Evan and Amy there.
What do you mean you met them there?
They were there already when I arrived.
Yeah, but you knew them beforehand.
Yes,
Yeah.
but it wasn't like. I mean, yeah.
You
He was,
didn't
he,
meet
he was
Evan
your
in
roommate, but I met him
Tunisia.
there.
Yeah, did you have a roommate or no?
First week, no, and then I ended up staying with. There's a legend over there named Ichi.
Oh,
He's a
okay. I heard you guys
Japanese
talk
guy.
about him.
Yeah.
Still there now. They love
Yeah,
it over there,
he
right?
lives there.
They love it.
Yo, when I was there was a Russian guy apparently that couldn't go back to Russia. He was there for like 58 weeks or something. Like just in a row.
You gotta have to change his. You gotta change his mailing address.
That's
Jesus
craziness.
Christ.
I can't last 2
That's
weeks.
a
He's
long
there
hotel.
for
That's a big
58
hotel bill.
weeks.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Telling you, and it's
58
not
weeks.
like, you know, I describe him as a Russian guy. It's not like I know who he is, so I can say, okay, at least he was doing well. Like the man is probably losing in Qs and pre-Qs and stuff. Like 58 weeks, I can't even imagine how much money he owes Bassem right now.
Hey, one really short story about. I have to go back to Cancun, unfortunately.
I love it.
So I only did. I think in like my career, I've only done 4 weeks there.
Man, I
about
think
that.
the first time I saw you play was in Cancun.
Was it?
actually. Yeah. You were like using the junior. Like,
Yes.
The junior
Yeah, my
whatever.
junior. Yeah, right. So that was my first year. That was like 2018, before COVID. The last time I went there, I, you guys been there, right? Obviously.
Yeah.
Okay. So you know those big grasshopper things, like the
Ah.
dinosaur like bugs, right? So I hated those things. Like those things were like my enemies. So those are the only things I was trying to avoid throughout the week. And one night I was walking back from the poison dinner, and and
Poisoned it, bro. I threw everything up one night. The worst.
You got sick there or
vomiting.
no?
oh my God, did I get sick there? Yeah, dude, I was
Me too.
out of every single hole in my body, bro. Like it was
Yeah.
awful.
Same.
It was awful.
No,
Every
I-
office.
I won the first set, and then I'm down 6-0, 2-0. I said, I'm done. I'm
Yeah.
going right. I walked straight to my room, straight in the shower, had all my clothes on. I was just in the shower, just sitting on the floor with my clothes on. Bro.
Just walking back and forth. So so the massive grasshopper. I was walking home. I was walking back to my room. By the way, the room had Netflix. Crazy.
What?
How do you get this privilege?
My-
I didn't even
my
have
room
Wi-Fi.
had
The Wi-Fi barely works.
Oh, I had Netflix on my TV.
Mine didn't barely work. Mine didn't work. TV.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I don't know. They gave me the good TV, I guess. But anyway, so I
Give you
walked
the
back.
one TV.
This, they have the like kind of like sandy. They're like sandy color. The big ones are like not green. They're like big and orange and like kind of sandy color. So I was walking past it, flew up on my neck, bit me on my neck.
Panic.
Bit you.
Bit me on my neck. You can imagine I was literally like.
The Spider-Man, the grasshopper man.
So this is late at
Cricket
night.
man.
Yeah. So this is late at night, and obviously no one's around because 9 or 10, and my neck gets really big, like swollen, really swollen.
Dog, Cancun
So-
is the worst
So
tournament ever,
I'm
bro.
literally
My God.
freaking out. I'm in my hotel room, like I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die here in my hotel room.
Cancun,
in
Tennessee.
Cancun, Tennessee.
You're gonna die or you're gonna grow wings. One or
Yeah,
the other.
yeah. I was trying to decide which one I was willing to risk, and I wasn't willing to risk the wings. So I was like, look. So I went down to the front desk, and I was like, look. I was like, my neck, and she was like, she literally, her mouth was open. She was like, I thought she was gonna say that's it for you. So she called.
They're poisonous. They're poisonous. You're done.
Yeah, you're done. Exactly. So she called like the, I guess like the torment doctor or something like that. Like that she came down from my hotel room and she injected me with something in my arm. Because apparently they have.
Oh, it is poisonous.
So apparently they have
Dog.
something in it that is, I guess, poisonous or something. And she had to give me an injection in my arm, like I guess. I don't know. I don't even know what was good. I don't even know what it was. I think it was probably like a COVID vaccine or something like that. But
Dog, can you imagine like late at night, big swelling? The worst part about Cancun too is they just room you sometimes with random people. And like, I couldn't sleep, bro. I did not know who this man was. Like, I was
That's
so
the
and
weirdest
this
thing.
is the night that I'm throwing up and everything.
oh, that's awful.
No, I
I
slept.
feel bad for him.
I slept. No, I feel bad for him too.
He's like, who's this guy?
I slept in the bathroom on the floor like for a few hours too. Like
Oh my
that was one
God.
of my worst
You
nights. on
slept
tour, bro.
on the floor in the bathroom in the Cancun hotel.
I could not get away from the toilet.
Can you
dog.
imagine
Like,
if there was a camera in there? How many things would be crawling over?
no, No, the problem is you don't have any warning. It's like, yo, now. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I might as well be right next. And I was like, I had the worst cold sweats ever. Like, I got so hot and then so freezing cold. So I had my hoodie, and then I was wearing nothing. Like, it's the worst, dog. Oh, my God, I hated it.
One week I was sharing a room with someone. I can't remember his name, but it was someone that you guys would know. Woke up at 1 a.m. screaming. And I'm
The
like,
person
was screaming. And I'm like, he was in his bed, right? I was like, what, maybe a nightmare or something. He takes off his sheets, and his leg is red, completely red. So I'm like, and he's like, he can't. So he doesn't know what's going on. He's like, what? So he sees a huge chunk of his shin is gone.
No,
Like,
You're lying. You're lying.
I swear on my mother's grave.
You're lying, bro.
I swear. A massive chunk of his shin is out, and he.
It wasn't massive. Don't do that.
No. Okay, massive might be the wrong word, but it's like it's
visible.
It's visible.
Okay.
And so he takes off. So his leg is like literally completely red, and I'm like, what is going on? And he lifts up his sheet. There's a black beetle like this size, literally this size, and I'm not lying. You could see his shin in his freaking like. Things, eating it, and at that point,
how do you not remember who this person is?
I really don't. I can't.
You guys have a trauma bond, you and this guy.
I'll find. I need to find it, but I can't remember his name. But I just remember. I remember.
What?
I remember the scream. Yeah. I was terrified. I was like, and that was with the doors. You know how there's a little gap under the door.
Yeah.
So I always used to put towels under there because there's
Nothing gets in.
yeah. Another really quick story. This was really fast, but there was a girl there.
Quick. 10 minutes later.
So there was a girl
We're
there.
shooting for 45. We'll do an hour and a half, and the episode's done.
You know how you're not supposed to leave anything outside your room because things get in your shoes, right?
Well, I didn't know
I've
that.
never heard
Okay.
that. But okay.
Well, when I got
Makes
there,
sense
yeah.
now.
So
It adds up.
Now they're eating shins in Cancun.
yeah.
The math, it adds up.
So
Yeah.
this girl woke up one morning, put her foot in her shoe, and again screamed, and this massive tarantula ran out of her shoe.
Oh my goodness.
And literally, you could see it running across the floor. Yeah, that was another turning point for me. I was
in
like,
the jungle,
in the
bro.
jungle.
No, and I put my shoes outside every night, like in Cancun.
Really?
Yeah,
Nah.
it's like you sweat like
Yeah, you
crazy
do.
in
Yeah,
Cancun,
but no, not
so-
for me. No, I don't think I could do that. I think I'd probably end up jumping off the balcony and wanting to just end it all at that point.
You got sick there?
Yeah, really sick. Yeah.
I never got sick there from the food.
No,
Nothing.
for me, I was going from my room to the court, back to my room. I didn't eat for like 2 days. I was so sick.
Really?
And and I was still winning doubles matches somehow. I don't know how, but
If you want to lose weight, go to the Cancun. What's the thing called?
what?
The complex.
Cancun Tennis Inn.
Yeah, go there. You want to drop 10 pounds quick?
You can't go there now though. That thing's been blocked off by
God.
armored convoys
caution
and
tape all
caution tape,
around.
everything. Man, that thing's done. That thing is done.
But
They-
I think they're supposed to be adding more places like that. Like I think in Mexico
Yeah.
and also in other places. There's rumors about it in the Caribbean and stuff too, which is
Well, it
nice.
needs to be.
So-
It's like such a great location in terms of for us, like to
Yeah.
go in there.
You know, I played in
hour
Cancun
flight.
when I was like, it was my first ever futures when I was like maybe 17. I was in school or something. I went there, and it was in Cancun, but at these resorts, and it was amazing, bro. Like it's like all inclusive resort. You can walk to like 3 or 4 different themed restaurants. There's like maybe like an Asian one,
Yeah.
and then like a Italian one, and then like a regular one or something. And they had like unlimited waters you can just go and take, because you know how much we sweat. in
Oh my
Cancun
God,
and
yeah,
stuff.
absolutely.
They had these huge tubs of just water you can just go and take, whatever.
But I
like-
think tournaments in Mexico usually are very good.
yeah.
Like outside of that particular.
Yeah, exactly. Like the ones this
Yeah.
year were very nice.
Very
Jalapa
nice.
and Tabasco.
You
and
have
stuff were
crowd,
nice.
you have all the.
That
hotels and
looked
nights, everything.
fun. That looked like real
Yeah,
good.
very
Like
Jalapa
that-
was nice.
Yeah,
man.
right.
Nice, yeah. Very
it's
nice.
nice.
I regret not playing that one. That one looked really, really cool. But
Man, when we played doubles in Sunrise, you were switching rackets. Was that because of the elbow?
oh, I was using that Wilson,
Like
right?
the white one.
The
I
white
think.
one. Yeah, so I switched rackets because I switched rackets. Yeah, it's called the Shift. It's a new one that's brought out.
You made a mistake.
Yeah,
Yeah.
big mistake. Yeah. Big mistake. Yeah. So I
You beat us with the shift. No,
I
you play with the
played with the Babylon. I changed over.
Yeah.
I was using it because of my elbow. I thought it would be the new change because I was just in like I said, so much pain. Because it was a little bit more flexible in terms of the frame.
Yeah.
But again, like it just did not. I lost so much confidence after using that racket because I didn't win a match for like 3 tournaments and I thought it was me. Then I looked back at it, I was like, that racket was so bad, like awful.
Let's cut this, by the way.
Shout
I
out to
don't wanna
Wilson.
get touched by Wilson.
Yeah.
I don't wanna-
Shout out to Wilson.
Yeah. Reece, edit all this part out.
But yeah, so I switched back when I was playing against Judy, and then I started playing back to where I was playing before. But yeah, that racket.
So we got murdered in that match.
I actually was not expecting
Murdered.
to play like that because you playing with Vasil, right?
Yeah.
And that guy's going off
Yeah,
right now.
I was having a tough, like, I don't know. It was one of those days where I could not get going.
Yeah.
I remember, I think I hit you with the
You
forehand.
smacked me with the
Yeah,
forehand.
I was like, this man's pissing me off.
Right-
I'm just going to hit him as hard as I can.
Right in my, that's not in my sternum. I was
I'm
like,
sitting on the couch next to you.
yeah.
No, I was playing and we're getting crushed. And you know, like, when you're losing and then the other guys are just having a good time. So it's pissing me off too. They're like, we're having
We're having
such a shit time. We're getting crushed and they're having fun. I said, dog, I'm just going to hit this forehand as hard as I can. And I hit him and I was like,
Just connected to me. I
no,
was like,
sorry. I was like, yeah, this is it. Then he
you-
proceeded to continue to murder us.
You
so.
guys were not talking.
I think that's just how he is, Kirkhoff.
Really?
He's just very calm, yeah.
I
very
mean,
calm
me and
figure.
shout out to Sekou Bingara. That guy's a G. I absolutely love that guy.
Yeah.
But we have like the best connection when we play doubles. It's actually crazy. But yeah, when we were playing you guys, we were like,
Did you win the tournament?
yeah. We were like, yeah.
Oh, they beat you because they had to win the tournament.
we were like,
Come on, brother.
because we weren't seeded. You guys were seeded, right?
Probably.
Yeah, I think you were like
so.
the 3 seed or something
Okay.
like that. And we were like, this is going to be the hardest match we're going to play, which it was the hardest match in
Which
terms
is crazy
in
because they won
terms
1 and 3.
in
The
term-
hardest match.
No, honestly, it was like in terms of level, because like we had some close. There were some close games. Like you broke us one time in the first set. So like in terms of that, it was pretty close.
You broke
But
once and lost 6-1 the set.
Just shut up. Shut up.
yeah, so me and Seiko were just like, these guys aren't talking. We were like, these guys are. We thought that you guys were like pissed at each other because you guys weren't saying a word. So we were just like,
No, I was low-key embarrassed though because my level was so low, and I kind of felt bad for him because I think he had some issues with his body in the past.
he definitely, he did.
So he was only playing doubles. So he came down from, where does he live? Maybe Orlando or Bradenton or Tampa, yeah. So he came down just to play dubs. So like part of me was a little bit guilty that I was putting in such a bad performance and he came all this way.
I mean, you definitely weren't playing your best level.
Yeah.
No, it was pretty obvious, but
Yeah.
Give them some credit, but they play well.
Oh, they did play well.
Simple as that.
Great team. You didn't hear him
Simple
talk
as that.
about how
Accept
good
it. Just
his-
accept it, man. Accept
him
it.
and Seiko has great chemistry.
Thank
What
you.
can I
Thank
say?
you. Good. Say that.
I can sense
Just
that
say
on the
that.
court.
Say that part, and then we leave the rest.
I could definitely sense that on the court. That's why I said, let me try and stop some chemistry by hitting this forehand as hard as I can, straight this way.
Moral victory.
It didn't. Seiko was like, I don't know. I can't remember what Seiko said, but he was like, just keep going. I was like, yeah. I was like, as I'm trying to catch my breath back. I was like, yeah, let's keep going. I was like, this guy's almost broke my rib.
That was a good one. I got one of those from Victor Estrella. You know who Victor Estrella is?
No.
He was like top 100 from Dominican Republic.
Top 50, bro.
Yeah,
But
top
how long
50.
ago?
Like
This
5
was
years,
at the
4 years
CSC
ago.
Games.
Oh, really?
This was at the CSC Games in 2018 or 19 or something. But my partner went body serve.
Yeah.
I was switching, and the man just went as hard as he can down the middle, hit me right in my chest, like hardest forehand I've ever seen.
So bad.
Yeah, it
when
hurts
you
bad.
get hit, it stings like. For
You never
days.
seen this man?
Oh yeah.
Victor, sure.
Yeah.
Dominican. Yeah.
Yeah, hit me so hard with the forehand. That's all I was thinking. It was a channel.
He's
in
a
the
big
Victor
forehand
Estrella.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's transition a little bit. So you live in Boca, but
I live
before you
Boca,
were in Naples.
In Naples,
right?
yeah, for 10 years in Naples.
Okay. So how did you end up in Naples? Because of the Colombian coach, or?
Yeah, so I was at Gomez Tennis Academy for 10 years. I moved there. I didn't move there, but I went there when I was 10. When I was working with my dad in England, he had something technically wrong with my forehand that he couldn't quite understand.
Your dad?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
that was your coach at first.
correct.
Okay.
And I used to go to Everett Tennis Academy down the street.
I did too.
Yeah, when I was like really young, like 4 or 5. We used to do like little trips there. When my dad had a bunch of players in England, we used to bring them down for like week kind of training camps. So I grew a really good connection with Renee Gomez, who runs Gomez Tennis Academy in Naples.
Okay.
And we went there for a week. I loved it. Just going from England to Florida, you're gonna love it no matter what, right? It's just like a different world. Literally, America to England is a different world. So I just immediately fell in love with the place. And then literally after that, I stayed there for 10 years. After that 1 week, I was set. And I recently just moved away from that.
Okay.
I think 2021 I moved away. So yeah, it was a huge part of my career. But that's how I moved to Naples. So my mum lives there now. My dad comes back and forth.
Okay.
So I go there from time to time. But
I
yeah,
was gonna ask if the move was because of the hurricane or if, but you said your mom still lives.
my
in
mum
Naples,
still
so
lives
the
in
move
Naples.
wasn't
Yeah.
because of the hurricane.
What do you mean? What I moved here?
No, from Naples to Boca.
I moved to Boca because the guy that I was training with in Naples, who wasn't at Gomez Tennis Academy, I left Naples. So I wanted to come over here because the players are way better over here and the coaching is different.
Yeah.
So I work with Temba over at One Academy,
okay.
which is just great. So that's why I made the move. It had nothing to do with the hurricane,
Okay.
but the hurricane obviously was.
Do you want to talk about it or
Yeah.
tell us what happened? With
Yeah,
the
yeah.
hurricane?
So, that was actually crazy, man. That was different. It was nuts. But so yeah, obviously that hurricane was coming in, and obviously when there's a hurricane, you don't think anything of it, right? You're just like, oh, it's just
especially in South Florida,
right.
They see so many hurricanes.
And then obviously we had Irma before, and Irma was pretty bad. But we never thought there was gonna be two in the space of 3 years. So we kind of just I didn't really like forget about it, but my mum did, and my mum was with my sister at the time and her boyfriend, and they kind of literally just put it under the table and was like, let's not worry about it. But I kept on telling my mum, like, you need to, this is coming, it's coming, like, it really is building up, like, you need to be ready to get out of there.
Were you in Naples too? Or
no, I was over here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was letting her know, like, come here for, a couple of days, because it's going to hit. Even if it's not big, it's going to hit. And, and when you don't have that much experience with hurricanes, not that I do, but, you don't really think much of it. You just think of it as a tropical storm. So, they stayed until last minute. Literally last minute, when it was 2 hours from hitting. And I told them, you need to get the F out. So they packed up, the stuff that's valuable, moved to their friend's house in North Naples, which didn't get hit as hard. And the house got absolutely destroyed. Nothing in the house we didn't save anything in the house. Everything was done for. Everything. The house was about 4 foot of water in the house. We're right by a canal. So the canal just rose and we were in 4 foot of water, the whole house. So when it hit, we had to wait a day so it could, the water could drain out the house. Yeah. So we literally I drove from Boca to Naples to help clean the whole house out. So it took about 5 days to completely take out all the walls, take out all the, like the island, take out like the fridge, the cabinets, the beds, the couch, nothing could stay. Because apparently, obviously I didn't know this, but once we thought that you could just let it out into the Florida sun and it would dry. But apparently there's like some sort of like, when it gets wet from the canal, there's some sort of like, not parasite, but something that eats like wood, not termites, but I don't know what it is, but you can't salvage it. So we had
all the wood and everything.
Correct. So we had to throw everything away, which was crazy. And yeah, just we had to start from the bottom back up to the top again. Yeah, it was absolutely nuts.
Rebuild that house.
Rebuild the whole like, yeah, basically we had to put all new walls, all new, paint, floors, carpet, everything brand new.
I remember seeing like that. I don't know if you posted or someone posted about it, saying that like your tennis career is on pause, like for a little bit. Like,
yeah, it was definitely.
You were just
So we did a GoFundMe, which thanks to everyone that donated money. That was very, 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 very nice. So yeah, I had to stop for like I think about 2 months until we could kind of get back. I was playing the Battle of Boca. I think that's what I was playing most of the time, just because it was like right next door, so it was convenient. Till most of my money that I won there, I had to put in to the house because like it would cost at least 40 to 50k to get it back.
You were running up Battle of Boca,
mate. I was running
like every single
weekend. I absolutely love that place, man.
Probably smells like the face of Battle of Boca at the beginning.
Yeah, absolutely. That place is where, that place has got. I mean, it's so convenient to not play it, right? It's like right next to us, so it's like it's $1,500 for 3 days.
Yeah.
So it was a no-brainer for me.
Yeah.
Send that to ATP and say, look, this is how much we make at the Battle of
Boca. I mean,
UTR 30 grand at the challenges.
So it's funny. It's 100%. But that we were supposed to UTR. We're supposed to make the 25 PTTs ATP points.
Yeah, I heard
So
some rumors about that.
They were on the close. They were about to close that and actually make it a thing, but ATP last minute went no.
You know why?
I don't know why, but I assume what you said at the beginning of the conversation, how ATP kind of want to make their own, like it's theirs, right? They don't want to expand into bigger things. They kind of want to keep it how it is and not change anything. So that's my opinion of what I think is what happened, but it could have been anything, honestly.
No, we need to have this supervisor on. Like, I think he said that we can, when we get better and improve and that sort of stuff, and we can, when we're ready, we can write to, I guess, whoever, write to the ATP or whatever and ask permission for him to come on and that sort of stuff. But like the man was literally answering all the questions that we had. Like me and Darian sat there. Well, to be honest, most of the conversation had to do with the entry system, like the different dates, like between futures, challengers, ATP.
Yeah, I had some fun with that recently.
Yeah. That's actually how it started. And then the same thing was happening with Darian with like he got pulled out of Washington, pulled out of Los Cabos, and then he wasn't even going to be main draw in Lexington, the challenger.
But he was left in that one.
Yeah, he was left in that one. So that was frustrating. And then while we were there that week, and he's already complaining about it happening, it happened again for, what's the one coming up at Stanford, I think. It's coming up in a few weeks. Like it happened the same thing. The Winnipeg and Stanford week, like happened again. So yeah, he was answering most of those questions. But I think he'd be great to have on, especially because most of our conversations is about this stuff.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Should we explain that? Or not?
What?
Like the list and stuff. I don't know if anybody understands what we're talking about.
I mean,
I think it's a little secret, isn't it? Can't give everything away.
Long story short, with the list is that there's different entry systems. So if you want to play challenges, you have ATP Player Zone, and you have to have an ATP ranking to play that. If you want to play the futures, you have IPIN, and they don't have the same like deadlines. So some deadlines to enter is on a Tuesday or a Thursday. Withdrawal is on a Tuesday or Thursday, and then
Friday
there's like
ATP.
play up deadline is on a Thursday or Friday or something. And
I thought you were talking about this list.
This list. No. We're talking about the entry list.
What I thought you were talking about. I was like, wait, it's not what it says on the TV.
No.
I was like, wait.
This list is just a breakdown on the TV of what we talk about.
Yeah, we could definitely tell about the entry list. That's cool.
Yeah. You had a interesting little thing about diets. You want to talk about that quick?
Yeah, I just do not believe in diets.
What do you mean?
I just don't. For me, I've seen so many guys have terrible diets on the tour, and they're still making millions of dollars. Like for me, it's not people say, oh, you got to be a vegan, you got to be a vegetarian, you got to slow down the sugars or that kind of stuff. It's like, I mean, we train and we have the most high, is that metabolism? Yeah. So like we have no reason to kind of watch what we eat because we burn off in an hour.
Okay.
In my opinion.
So you don't believe that you can, like what you lose, like through sweat and through like running and energy or whatever. You don't think you can like replace it?
You can obviously, when you're finished test match, you would go have something good to eat, like some chicken rice and that kind of stuff.
So you don't fully not believe in
No.
that? I
mean, to a degree, yes, absolutely. Like hydration, all that kind of stuff is crucial.
Okay. Obviously, you think that the nitpicking of like exact foods to eat?
Yeah, no, I think it's too much. It's too much. I feel like you want to go to the gas station and get yourself a chocolate bar. Yeah. Then go get yourself a chocolate bar.
5 Kit Kats.
Life is 5 Kit Kats. Life is too short to just not enjoy the food. Like I don't. When someone says you can't eat a dessert at dinner, you got to eat this for the week because you're playing a tournament. It's like, I mean, I will play better if I have a chocolate cookie in my stomach. Like if I'm not, I'm gonna want one. And if I want one, I'm.
Who was it? Wasn't it
all
DK?
about comfort? This guy.
Yeah. Comfort food, comfort tournaments.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. When people say like you can't have any sugar when you're playing a tournament, it's like.
And go to bed early. All
Yeah.
Like,
You gotta make sure you. Yeah.
Go to practice. Go to bed early.
Yeah, it's like you don't know. It's like you don't know anything. I play my best tennis when I'm like,
tanking.
Okay, so but you don't eat foods like. Do you have any like a meal that you would eat that makes you feel heavy or make you feel slow? Any of this stuff?
Okay,
like,
well sometimes. Okay, I tell you what. When I was playing you in doubles, I had Chipotle. That was like boiling.
Sometimes
felt bad and beat you 1-3.
Shut up, bro.
Yeah, that was when I have like spicy food when I play, that's a no-go. But like anything, not really.
That's personal, I guess.
Yes.
So you don't fully not believe in the diet thing. You just like you don't think you have to.
I don't think you have to be so strict when you're playing a tournament. I feel like when you're training, it's free range.
Just be a little bit smart about it.
Just be like, make sure you hydrate properly before you play a match, and the night before. But like, if you want to eat something, eat it. No, don't feel like you don't have to eat it. I feel like it's one of those things where it's like it's not like it's gonna sit in your stomach for 3 days.
You know what I've learned with the diet thing? Because when I came back from surgery, I put on a lot of weight, and then Justin and I started working with these trainers in Texas, and one of them is like a dietitian and does research and stuff into diet. So then we went on this program to try and lose some of the body fat that we had.
Yep.
So we did like tests and this sort of stuff. So we would go 2-3 weeks at a time eating like very, very clean, where we had no bad meals. And then we would go and say, okay, let's have a cheat meal today. And we get like Chick-fil-A or pizza or something. And it would make us feel so shit after that, like when we have it.
Really?
So my opinion is that like, but then let's say I lose my way on the diet and now I'm eating not the greatest for a few days in a row. My body doesn't feel as bad. So I feel like you get accustomed to what you've been putting into your body. So if you eat very clean and then you have a cheat meal, you're not going to feel good.
I feel like you're better off just eating bad, so you can't feel that way again.
Just enjoy life.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. Justin gets it. I mean, it's like we work too hard and make no money to not eat bad. I mean, I feel like you just have to. I mean, if I was making millions a year, I'll have a chef. There'll be flying in lobsters from wherever, and I'll be eating like a king. But because I'm not, and my bank account is in the negatives, I'm gonna go to the gas station, and I'm gonna be getting a packet of Haribo. I'm gonna getting a Monster Energy drink. Like I'm just gonna do it.
I think the truth about diets is that is very individual, because like everybody has like a theory about how it should work.
Yeah, it is.
And
right.
I think different foods go well for different people.
Yeah.
So like some people will tell you like no process, this and that, and then you see like some top players, they eat pasta and other guys don't, and then you have guys who only would eat rice and guys who don't. I think you gotta do what honestly what you say, it makes you comfortable, because like it also could be a thing where, let's say you do go to Serbia and you're really uncomfortable. Yeah. Maybe it would actually help you mentally and emotionally if you eat some things that you actually are used to.
Yeah. Yes.
That makes you feel comfortable, and you maybe can perform better.
Absolutely.
So I don't think any of it is concrete. I think every place is an individual, and you have to kind of do 100%. What makes you feel the most comfortable and the most prepared to perform, because I think we can all say that there is the right answer and this and that, but it's not how it works.
No, it's very personal.
Everybody plays different, everybody eats different, everybody sleeps different.
Such a voice of reason, huh, Justin? Rahul, I hope you're writing down notes from what this man just said.
Is
Go Rahul.
Was Rahul, is he, what's his last name?
I'm not sure.
Did you give him a D? You have no idea.
I'm not sure.
Is he English?
I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know.
I do not know. I don't even know where to find it in this thing.
So many girls in your DMs, man. Jeez,
chill out. This is a business page, brother.
Oh, sorry.
I don't even know where it is.
A lot of female fans?
Yeah. Oh, we're going to have a female on coming up, right, Justin?
We're supposed to.
We're going to have our first female guest.
You know how that goes. They could last minute, you're going to hate me. So who knows?
That's funny.
Who knows?
I was going to say something else and I forgot. Oh, you want to get into the last question? Oh, I don't even know if everyone answered this last question, but so we have...
He skipped his injury. But
yeah, but I figured oh, no, we're talking about the racket stuff, so why don't you mention about the injury?
Oh, yeah. So I'm probably not gonna play tennis again. Honestly, I mean,
really?
That's very dark.
Yeah, no.
That's not what he said before the podcast. He said he's gonna be out for a few months. All of a sudden now.
I mean, okay, I've honestly.
We go to McDonald's after, bro. Don't worry.
Mate, every day. I'm gonna be probably having surgery in the next week or so for my elbow, because I think most of the Futures Tour knows that my elbow has been screwed up the past 3 to 4 years.
I had no clue.
Well, no, you do, Justin. No, you do.
Most, not all.
I tried to.
Justin's a challenger guy. That's why.
No, you're right. No, my bad. Yeah. He is. So I'm probably gonna have surgery in the next week or so. So I have no idea how long the recovery will be. I just know that I for sure probably won't play a tournament for the rest of the year. Yeah. Just because I won't play for 2 months, which I assume will be the shortest, and I'll have to do the rehab and all that kind of stuff with it, which will be another 2 months.
But you'll be doing the fitness and the
so I'll be keeping fit. I'll be keeping my diet going. I'll be good. But the actual training point of view, I don't think I'll be doing much of it, which just sucks because I haven't played. I've played like 4 or 5 tournaments this year
because of
my elbow. So I think I've literally played 10 tournaments or 12 tournaments in total since I won the Future in November in November last year.
Yeah, that's a tough.
Like around there,
thing.
ballpark. So I've kind of been, snapped back into reality a little bit. Put my feet on the floor, and kind of going over my life. Right, it's like when you're a kid, you dream about being number one in the world. You dream about everyone knows your name and what you do, and it's not like that. It's like you're gonna wake up one day and you could get hit by a car, or you could eat too many McDonald's and get a heart attack, or you could just hit some shot off balance and your arm goes. You just never know. So nothing is ever perfect, which I have come to a realization where, if I'm not number one in the world, life goes on. That's how I hate to say it, because that's how I want to, I really want to do that. And that's, my dream still is there, but it's slowly depleting, just because, life is kicking me in the butt right now with my injuries. So I really hope that I can get back and keep playing back to the level that I was producing in November, but you never know, because once you cut skin, you're never going to play again the same way. So that's another problem, right?
Yeah.
So like once you have I don't know if you guys have any surgeries, but have you?
I've had 2.
So like, what are your thoughts on like?
I don't have any experience with a nerve injury, but I had.
Do you play the same? Do you feel that like the same way, like in terms of movement?
I have. I mean, I had an elbow, some cartilage problem,
Yeah.
and I had a torn ligament in my wrist, and yeah, I mean, I guess I can't remember exactly how it felt before and how it felt after, but I feel like I've been able to, I guess, get the full function of my joints back when I have had surgery.
Well, that's good to know.
Maybe I was lucky.
Yeah.
But I think it is possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because everybody heals a different way, right?
Yeah,
So you never know. But I mean, I'm glad you said that, because everyone that I've asked have kind of said, like, in terms of arms and the sport that we play, it's never going to feel the same way. You might feel no pain, but you're never going to play tennis the same way, which kind of really scares me, because I don't want to have to, my muscle memory is so deep that you can't just make technical switches that quick, right? So that's what I worry about a little bit.
I feel like my hip is that way. Like I will say that I'm 100% healthy.
Yeah.
But it's not the same that it was before. My hip.
See, that's what I worry about. That's the problem.
Yeah. But luckily, like with the hip, it's like it's not as technical as how precise you have to be with a shot.
For sure.
You know what I mean? So in some ways, I'm a little bit lucky in that aspect, that it's not like you said, like a wrist or arm or shoulder or something. The stuff that actually make contact with the ball.
Absolutely.
And I guess there's ways that you can guard the pain that you feel. You know what I mean?
But what do you mean when you say like you don't feel the same way?
Like I feel like I don't have the full range of motion that I had before, so I can't get deep into like a lunge or something.
Interesting.
So my lunge has like a certain range of motion that at a certain point it doesn't go past. You know what I mean? But I mean, it's easy. Just don't bend your knees when you play. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, don't bend your knees. Don't eat McDonald's and go to sleep late.
Yeah.
God, I'm making such a bad rep for myself.
No, I'm playing. But
I'm not that bad.
It might not be exactly the same. For example, like I maybe have lost a little range of motion in the wrist, but for my playing function, what I need to be able to do, I can do.
Yeah.
So I feel like it depends. I don't know anything about nerves, so I don't know how that works. But
well, they're gonna apparently move it. How would you move a nerve? That just freaks me out. They're gonna move my nerve in my arm. Well, you know, hit your funny bone. You're like, it's like not very funny.
Yeah.
So how the hell?
Yeah, that's scaring me now too, because I've been having some a little.
Yeah, exactly. You guys saying he's got the same pain as me. I'm
but
like,
I don't think it's nerve. I don't think it's nerve. Mine cannot be nerve, because I don't feel it going down my arm. I think it's just tendonitis. But
I think
that's rough.
The biggest thing you can do is literally focus on what you can control.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
You give the best effort you can towards the rehab and the training and stuff, and I guess wherever you end up, at least you have peace of mind that you gave it.
That's what I mean. That's another point, right? So I never wanted to have surgery because I didn't want to feel this way of never being able to play the same way again. Yeah. But this is literally my last resort. Yeah. So if this doesn't go to plan, then like you said, I can put my hands up and say I tried everything I did, gave everything I did to play again.
That's gonna be a good, somewhat bittersweet feeling. Like at least you can say like you tried everything. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Yeah, exactly. Bittersweet. But like I said, it's going into reality. Like nothing's ever perfect. So. Yeah.
And especially with us who, like you said, our dream ever since we were young is to play tennis and live this lifestyle and whatnot. And it's some sort of like a splash of reality if it doesn't happen. Now you have to try and figure out you know, like what the next stage in life would be.
Yeah.
So I can understand and relate, because after my surgery, I think I was on like an 8-match losing streak in both singles and doubles. Couldn't get across the line in Tunisia, and I was like, this is it. Like, I remember losing a match and called Chris, and I told my coach, I was like, yeah, I'm done. Like, singles is done. Like, I'm just gonna play doubles. And like, he wanted me to just reset a little bit, so I ended up going to England, went to the Palace and United game, just reset a little bit, and then your perspective kind of changes when you zoom out a little bit. You know what I mean? So I would say, just like what Justin said, maybe just try and control what you can, like zoom out a little bit, and take it a day at a time.
For sure.
And get too deep, man. Next thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna start crying in a second.
All right, let's get to the last question before we roll. So this is a question from YouTube. Ons Jabor says that she takes on the pressure of representing Tunisia and Africa. For Justin and Jody, does the pressure of representing the Bahamas, Antigua, and the Caribbean have advantages or disadvantages, and what are they? You want to answer that, Justin? There's another part of the question that I'll answer for the other guys after.
Does the pressure represent the Bahamas and Antigua? I think there are definite advantages. It's starting from young. It's an advantage in terms of when you do become good, you can get support easier because there are fewer names and fewer people to I guess be competing with, and you have more notoriety in your area, so you can get more help younger or easier. But disadvantages are that there are less opportunities in the Caribbean. So when you're coming up, we have far less tournaments, far less good competition. So for me, it was always like Eddie Hearn Orange Bowl at the end of the year was always a big deal because that would be the only time in the year I would see that kind of competition. Like how the actual best players in my age group are playing, how I stack up against them. So that's a disadvantage of coming from the Caribbean. But these days, I wouldn't really say there's a pressure. If anything, it feels like it's a bit of a privilege, and it's a bit of it's more exciting than anything. You feel like you can be someone to put your nation and also your region on the map if you can do well. It sounds better when it's like, oh, this kid from the Bahamas, or like Darian King when he was doing well from Barbados is top whatever, and he's doing such and such. Is less pressure, I feel like, because I feel like if you're American or you're British, if you're not top 10 in the world or winning slams or winning Masters 1000s, you're not doing anything. True. Because no one cares about people who are very good. They only care about who's the best. So I would say, if anything, as a professional athlete, from the Bahamas or Antigua, the Caribbean, it's less pressure and it's more. It's all upside, really. Yeah, I would say.
Yeah, I think I would agree that. I believe coming from the small islands or small countries in general, whatever, you definitely have less opportunity to get to where you want to be. So you're going to have less coaching, worse facilities, less wild cards and opportunities to get into bigger events. So you have to almost earn your way through every single tournament you play. You have to win the matches. You have to do like all the hard work and whatnot. But if you make it through a certain level and you show that you belong at a certain level, then the opportunity for you to be supported, at least, I believe, is a little bit, at least lower down the rankings. When you get to a certain level, then it becomes easier to be supported because, like Justin said, there's only a handful of guys from the Bahamas or Antigua or Jamaica or wherever in the Caribbean, Barbados. But how many Americans are around our level? How many Brits, how many Europeans and whatnot, like on the other side of the world, Asia. So I believe that coming from a small island, you have less opportunities to make it, but then once you reach a certain level, then you'll be able to be supported a little bit more than the counterparts from big countries.
What I think is tough too, because yesterday come back from Dominican, there was a Bahamian tennis player who was playing in Dominican too in the junior tournament. And they ran me down in the airport and we took a picture. But the sad part is, a lot of times for people from the Caribbean, at least in tennis, is you have to leave home to become good. So it's not that easy to keep the tradition going in the country. So like, if you do make it, you have to make an actual effort to go back home and reinvest in that tennis community or whatever sport you play,
Mm-hmm.
because it's very easy to become detached from that, and then the youth again are disadvantaged again because they don't get to actually see what a top player looks like from their country,
For sure.
and
Yeah.
how to kind of see that path. So it's like a double-edged sword. Either way you go, there's pluses and minuses.
The second part for the question is basically what you just described. So it's for Evan and AJ, who are Americans. Does representing the USA have a lot of players? Having a lot of players in the top 100 make it harder or help you? What are the pros and cons? And I think what the boys answered in the group was basically that it doesn't really, there's no pros or cons really to it, just because there's so many different players at all levels. So it doesn't impact them having the top 100 pros around. Like, maybe every now and again they'll be able to see and train with a pro, but again, when you see and train with these top 100 pros, a lot of the times you're not doing what you want to do, or you're not both improving. You're kind of just there to help them and be a hitting partner for their session, so it doesn't impact you as much. So
But I would assume is that the pro, if I was American, would be like, let's say I'm Evan, and then I'm seeing another college guy go through the top 100. I could see, okay, it's achievable. Like, it's like...
Like, what was your opinion? Because I guess you didn't live in England. So.
No, I mean, to play, I think it's the same as America, to be honest. Like, there's so many Brits that, like, you wouldn't think there is, but I'm like 25 in England, and I'm like 700. But I mean, there's like 25 guys ahead of me, which is crazy to think, right? And I think America is even more.
Yeah.
So for me to play for Great Britain, I got to be top 5. That's Norrie, Jack Draper, Dan Evans, Andy Murray, that level, right? So you got to be like top 50 ATP to even get a chance at playing Davis Cup. So I think for the American guys, I feel like there's even more people. So I feel like there would be loads of pros playing for the Davis Cup team, in my opinion, because you get access to the facility for training. You get, hopefully you'd get money to go out and compete. So there's not many. I wouldn't say there's any cons in my opinion. I don't know how, like I said, I don't know how they feel about it, but I don't think there'll be any cons for playing for your country in terms of that.
I think it's the way AJ described it was that for Justin and I, it sounds like big fish, small pond, but for them, it's like small fish in the big pond. You know, it's probably the most straightforward way to describe it.
But you're not going to play unless you're a big fish. As simple as that. For like big countries like us.
Yeah, exactly.
So if you get to go, I think, was it Zeke and I don't know if it was Keegan, but Zeke went to Davis Cup match, didn't he?
Yeah.
And he went and played. Well, he
practice
partner. Yeah.
That's nice.
So I mean, I understand from your perspective there, like you'd be a small fish in a big pond from when you're Zeke back, when he's that ranking, because you're just there to basically hit with the guys. So exactly. I would feel that way when I was there. But I mean, when you're actually that level of a player, you're not going to feel any you feel pressure, but you're not going to have any cons. I feel like you're just going to be chilling. You're just going to be going up. And
that's what AJ said. It doesn't. There's no like pros and cons really. Like it doesn't impact them as much as, like, I guess to answer the question, doesn't impact them that much. So yes, sir. But
what's this Jabor? What is that? Did she say that? She feels pressure on.
I guess she's one of the. I guess the highest Tunisian player, and I guess she plays Billie Jean King Cup for Tunisia. Yeah. And one of the only African players. I believe there's a handful of the women players from Africa. So I guess she feels pressure. But for me at Davis Cup, I don't feel much pressure, just because I know I'm the only one playing on the pro circuit. So and I'm also in zone 4, so the level is not very high there. So it's not like I only get pushed maybe a handful of times since I've played. So I've had a pretty good Davis Cup record in the lower groups. So I don't really feel that much pressure. Like, I just go and control what I can. It'd be nice for us to win, but I feel like the infrastructure of our team in the Caribbean is a lot of the time not very strong. So I don't really have expectations going into Davis Cup. I just try to have fun.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I say that now and my body's just broken from fighting for my life in the last week. So it's funny. You have anything else to cover, Justin?
No.
The goal was to go 45 minutes. We've gone an hour and 10. So
some stuff to cut out.
Yeah,
the Wilson stuff and whatnot.
You can definitely cut some things out.
Anyway, Blue, thanks for coming. Appreciate it.
Loved it, mate. Loved it. It was great. Yeah, absolutely.
We'll definitely be back. Like, we have some people lined up, but we know that you're in the area. So if
sure.
we're ever in need,
let me know if you need a fifth or a fourth. I'll be here in a second.
Sounds
yeah, absolutely.
Thanks
something
for
to
coming. Oh yeah, you're gonna have some time on your hands. So.
Yeah, I mean,
join the team.
Maybe I'll come back after the surgery. We can talk about that.
Yeah,
for
that
sure.
sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, cool.
All right, everyone. Thanks for watching. Continue to like and subscribe and share the page if you like what we're doing. And we'll see you next week.